Tana, man, look at those hands, boy. Look at those hands, boy.
Feature 40 times.
I want that to be one of the defining things that makes a commander who they are.
We have the legend Logan Paulsen back with us. Fred, how happy are you?
And his shoes are back.
And these jeans, man, all stars right now.
Welcome, Commanders family, into Command Center, presented by SeatGeek, the official primary ticketing partner of the Washington Commanders. Welcome in, Commanders family. Brian Coble Jr. here with Santana Moss, Fred Smoot, and we welcome in the legend Logan Paulsen back, man. Good to have you back.
Welcome back,
Thanks, and
brother.
thanks for those birthday wishes, man. That song was amazing, Fred.
Sponsored by Stevie Wonder.
Well, man, we got to talk about your trip, because not only was it your birthday, man, but you got to go to the Combine. You got to see some records we broke. How cool is it to see guys make a name for themselves over at the Combine?
I mean, it's fantastic. Combine is so much fun. You get to see all the coaches, all the scouts, kind of reconnect with all those people, but then the guys making their careers. And I remember that 40 time, the stadium was electric. It was the first day a lot of fans were there. Everyone was holding their breath. That guy comes out, Xavier Worthy, and bombs that 4.22. That was fantastic. And they adjust the time later. Everyone cheers, looking at their phone. It was a ton of fun, man.
And fellas, that's so cool, because what you guys did before the Combine, right? You guys put a mock draft together, right?
Yeah.
And much like the front offices have to do after the Combine, they have to reassess, they have to reevaluate. So Logan, I'm gonna start with you. What changed in your mock draft, especially at number 2?
Yeah, so number 2, I think for me, I was leading Jaden Daniels, and obviously a very dynamic playmaker and a guy that, won the Heisman Best Player in college football. But the more you watch Drake Maye, the more you talk to some of these NFL personnel people, you realize Drake Maye is going to be the guy. The throws over the middle of the field, the arm talent, the composure, what he does with protections at the line of scrimmage, I think is just going to give him that edge up in NFL minds and my own mind now. So he's my second guy that I would take for the Commanders at number 2.
Well, I know with my mock draft, I think I traded up for Caleb Williams, and now I think we stay at 2. All right, so now that we stay at 2, I got to make a concrete pick with that second pick, and I think Caleb goes number 1. I just think right now he's the odd-on favorite to be the man in this draft, so I think Drake Maye. Like, we're on the same page. We never agree on stuff, but we agree on this one. I'm going Drake Maye with that pick. I love the big body, and I always want people to understand this. There's no perfect prospects in this draft. We're going to have to teach all of them and clean up all of them when it comes to certain things. I'm going Drake Maye with number 2.
I'm still on the fence. I didn't go up. I didn't go down. I'm still at number 2. I wanted Caleb to fall less. I wanted, Fields to stay in Chicago. I'm hoping Chicago still keeps Fields. I mean, right now we've been hearing the little rumblings that they might get rid of him. Who knows? You know what I mean? So if it goes the way I want it to see, then we get Caleb. If not, I'm not so sold on Maye or Daniels. I feel like we can't miss with one of those guys. So whoever. I would prefer Daniels if we have to pick one of those 2. But I say, hey, Maye's one of those guys. I mean, he's shown that he can be one of those guys, and then he got a good friend here. You know what I mean? Got a homie. He knows Sam.
Got a brother in the
I don't know how that's going to be, but hey, man, we can't miss with both of those guys.
Without a doubt. And one thing we see on these combines, right, is we see a guy make a name for himself, right? So like last year it was Anthony Richardson. He ran those crazy times that got him into a top 5 pick. Who would you guys say raised their stock up like Anthony Richardson did last year?
For me, it's Chop Robinson, fastest 10 split of anybody over 250 at the Combine. Absolutely crushed it.
Amarius Mims, he's this big.
He's a big man.
He's 6'8". They thought he was 6'6" in college. 6'8", 350 pounds, 5.0 40. You heard me. 350 pounds, 5.0 40. Him.
I say the obvious, Worthy. And I know that time is a little short.
Yeah, time is short. The time short. But you know what? We got more time to talk about Logan and his top prospects, because Logan, you were out there for a long time, and you put together a list of 5 top prospects. Let's take a look at that. It's time for your lucky numbers, brought to you by Maryland Lottery Fast Play Games. Play fast, win fast today, but please play responsibly. Here's a look at the professor's top 5 prospects after the NFL Combine. Now, in no particular order, here is the list of prospects Logan thinks stood out in Indy. A couple of linemen make the list, both on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And of course, a near record breaker making the list in wide receiver Quinn Mitchell, who ran the second fastest 40 time at this year's Combine. Now, let's send it over to Logan and the guys for more on these prospects.
Thanks, Brian. Guys, welcome to Paulsons Prospects. I just got back from the Combine, and there was a lot of really good football players out there, guys that helped themselves out quite a bit. And so I figured I'd walk you through 5 guys that I thought that I felt stood out at the Combine.
All right, talk to us.
So let's start with the first guy, and that's Braden Fisk.
All right,
defensive
big boy.
tackle from Florida State. And I know you don't like Florida State guys that much. Do you, Tanny, you all right with them?
No, I'm okay. I'm a Florida boy,
right.
so, you know.
But I think the big thing here, dude weighed 495 pounds and ran a 4.7. And when you watch the film, he plays incredibly hard, man. He plays so hard. So you're kind of like, what is he as an athlete? And when he's got these athletic measurables, 33-inch vertical, 9 broad jump, and that 4.7 is just, it speaks to the type of athlete he is. You know?
Well, do you think he got overlooked because he was playing on a team with Verse? With Verse over there getting all the attention. With this guy, does the film match the workout?
So I think the film shows you that his motor never stops. He's got great balance. He finishes plays. And so the thing that you get out of this is now maybe he can be that situational pass rusher because he doesn't have the longest arms in the world, but maybe he could fill a role for your team.
I watched him run, the 40. First thing I did, I called my cousin, and he said, that dude there has a motor, and you just said about his motor. So I never really paid close attention to him throughout the season, but just watching him, compete out there at the combine, that's the first thing my cousin said, hey, that guy right there is legit.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's a defensive tackle right there.
Yeah.
Next guy on the list, Marshawn Nealon. And this guy, again, motor. Right? He's a huge man. He's almost 270 pounds. And the thing is, these numbers are kind of okay. 4.7, 35-inch vertical, all that kind of stuff. But the thing that stood out to me is in the field work, Tana, the way he moved and sank his hips. I was like, this dude could drop into coverage if he needed to. He can bend the edge. He can rush with power because he's got all that weight. So he's a guy that maybe you're not talking about. It'd be so easy to go Chop Robinson here, Dallas Turner, Jared Verse. But this guy, I thought, just helped himself because he showed you that he's an athlete in the ways that matter on a football field.
I think this is what the combine is about when it comes from a guy from Western Michigan that you didn't see play every week in and out, but he's violent with his hands and he's violent at the point of attack. The question is, will he fit better with an even front or with an odd front? And if he plays in an even front, is he moving inside then or is he playing defensive end?
Yeah, outside, absolutely.
And one of the things that's set up about this too, like when you get guys like that coming from Western Michigan or coming from some of those schools you don't pay close attention to, that's where they want to go out there and do their best stuff at the combine, go out there and grade well. We talked about certain guys from bigger schools, you don't have to really see them in those forms or those settings, but I'm happy he went out there and performed pretty well.
That's a great point. It's always great when that small school guy does a great job. All right, so next guy, Xavier Legette. And so this guy won just from the measurements, I think. He was 6'1", 220 pounds. And Tana, what's that number say right there? That's a 4.39.
4.39.
For a big man that is moving out there. And then in addition to the movement skills, 40-inch vertical jump, just absolutely crushed the measurables. He ran routes. And one of the big knocks on him in South Carolina was that he couldn't run routes. So I love the way he sank his hips, got in and out of cuts, didn't get stuck on stuff, and did not drop a ball in the workout. So
I remember during the season, I talked about him, and I say he remind me of Sterling Shaw. I say, Sterling Shaw got some kids down there in South Carolina. You got Debo. We thought Debo was Sterling Shaw's son. Now we got this guy. I mean, he went out there and performed well. I think he came into the combine with a second-round draft pick. Not sure if it probably will go up, but I know he raised a lot of eyebrows.
First of all, I don't think there's nothing he can't do on the football field. Like, this is my man crushing the draft right now. I told you, getting off the bus, this dude is built. And then I think he showed them what they thought he couldn't do, and that's run. Like they thought he was gonna run a 4.5, 4.39. This guy is moving. I promise you, when we fast forward these years, he's gonna be the jewel, one of the jewels when it comes to wide receivers in this draft.
I agree, and also has the ability to play special teams. Another guy that stuck out to me was Quinn Mitchell from Toledo, and this guy, I mean, he just murdered the combine.
He blew it away.
Like small school guy, he had a great Senior Bowl. The one question he had is, what type of athlete was he or is he? And I mean, his numbers speak for himself. 30-inch vertical, 4.3. Every drill on the field, Fred, his ability to close, right? Like he'd get beat sometimes, but he can close that distance in a hurry. He's a big man. He's 6 foot. He's almost 200 pounds. I'm just like, you want to bet on those types of traits. And he's got great instincts in the football.
Great instincts, and he got what we call get out of trouble speed. To be a great DB, we're gonna have to make some bad decisions. And when you make those bad decisions, can you recover? Oh yes, he can recover. And you gotta realize, a corner like me did the bench press one time. This dude did it 19 more times.
20 times,
You gotta understand, he's strong, he's built, he's ready for pro football. And when we talk about the small school guys, they don't get the love out of pub. Since the Senior Bowl, you heard his name everywhere. So look for this guy to be a first day guy and look for him to be a first day starter to me.
He beat you 40 times, too.
Only by a 10th of a second.
Okay.
He was moving, man. And then you got to give the big guys some love, and that's Kingsley Sumataya. And so, all these other guys, Mims coming out, they're getting some love. Paul getting some love. This guy, Fred, the way he moved, it's like one of those big guys that you say is like a dancing bear. Right? His ability to just bend and move his feet and shuffle around and sprint to the bag and find angles. Like I was like, this dude looks like a basketball player. He's a 315-pound basketball player, and he's got a heavy anchor. He's got heavy hands on the film, and so the way he tested out here, I was just like, to me, if the Washington Commanders need an offensive lineman at 36 or 40, this guy would be perfect with the athletic upside he's got.
And arm length. Like when it comes to tackles and guys gonna play like that, I'm all about arm length. We talked about this with Sam Cosmi when he came out. I said, hey, we looking at a Pro Bowl guard. Like nobody wanted to see what I saw. No, I saw it. And this guy right here, he can play tackle. He can play wherever you need him to play. But if you don't have long arms that forces these DNs to run what they call the hump, it's going to be hard for you to make it and stay in this league. And I think he got was. And it's BYU. One thing we know about BYU, you're not leaving there at 21. We're going to get a grown man from BYU.
Yeah, he did a great job. And so these are 5 guys I thought did a great job. There's much more prospects, and we'll talk about those guys as we go. But Brian, man, you got some exciting stuff happening in the bubble with the head coach, Dan Quinn.
Thank you so much, Logan. And of course, I am here with our head coach, Dan Quinn. Dan, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. It's awesome to be here with you, and being on the field kind of gets me lit up about what's to come.
See, that's why we have you here, because we know this is
my space.
Yeah, you're happy here, right? And you just come out here from Indy.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you've been to a number of combines, right?
Yep.
It's been a while since you've had the head coach hat on. How cool is it being the head coach again and being out in that combine? And was there anything different about this time around?
Well, I'd say one, I wouldn't say I definitely took it for granted, but the second lap through, man, like, I appreciate it. I know what's at stake. I know the opportunity that's here, and like I wasn't gonna miss it for nothing. And so I wanted to make sure every interaction, every moment, every chance that you get to visit with those guys, that's it. Because we're trying to find like one little edge. If we can find one guy, one person that's the right fit. If you find that, leaving there saying, okay, that's somebody we want to work with.
Yeah, and you had said during the combine multiple times that it wasn't so much the workouts you were looking for, but it was those in-person interviews, those face-to-face interactions. What about getting to see a guy and know more about that guy under the helmet that is so important to you?
Yeah, as opposed to, I want to get to know the ball player second. But I want to know the man first. And I wanted to know the why, what type of teammate, what's the background, what's the story that makes him who he is. For instance, like I can imagine talking to a player who was played so tough, and I said, where did this come from? This kind of toughness, this kind of work ethic. And you'd be surprised, came from a mother, it came from a father, it came from a little brother. Like, it's all different reasons about why people play and why they compete so hard. And so it was examples like that is easy to remember, to say, okay, I know what this dude stands for, I know what the competitor's like, and that's the type of guys we want to bring into this locker room to make it as many competitive, tough-minded guys as we can.
And you can just tell you care so much about the culture and the people you bring in here. You both and Adam Peters have said, we want to build a championship culture. So when you're looking at these guys, you're interviewing these guys, what are the characteristics and traits that you're bringing away from these conversations that say, you know what, this guy could help build that culture?
I would say number one, at the top of the pile, is like a dog-ass competitor. And I want that to be one of the defining things that makes a commander who they are. And if we keep stacking that onto an already existing group, you can imagine what a practice is like, where you have more competitive people who are just fighting for it. What does that look like for workouts? What does it look like in the meeting room? If we can just keep pushing, finding a competitive edge in like every single thing that we're doing, it just kind of lifts everybody up. It's coaches, it's players, it's the staff. And if we get that kind of energy involved in what we do, it better come from competing first. And that's the iron sharpening iron. That's brother to brother. And if we do that really, really well, we should elevate everybody around us.
And then you talk about that iron sharpening iron. It was all hands on deck out in the combine. And we actually talked to Adam Peters last week. And we asked him, what is your favorite thing, or what are you most excited about this combine? You know what he said? He said, collaborating with a mind like Dan Quinn.
Right on.
You got to do that collaboration. That feels good, right? That feels good. You got to do that collaboration. What has it been like, not only collaborating with him, but the rest of your new staff and the rest of his front office?
I would say first part for him, prior to going to the combine, we had a chance to look at some guys together. So to seeing his process, how he looks at players, the detail that he goes into. And so I think a lot of scouts, they can scout for the league and, this is what a quarterback looks like, this is what a linebacker looks like, or a safety. But I think Adam's superpower is finding what the team needs. And whether that had been at New England, whether it had been in Denver or in San Francisco, he's got a special knack of finding the specific traits that the team needs. And I think that's his superpower, to find what the team needs. And not every team's built the same, not every team has the same needs, but for him knowing that that came across really clearly to me.
And speaking of team, the guy from our team, the command center team, Logan Paulsen, he was out at the combine too. Did you know that?
Yes.
So we asked Logan, because you know Logan's in the gym, right? Logan's
Yeah.
a workout
no
guy. So we
question.
said, Logan, what workout would you do best over at the combine? And he said he would do bench press.
Yes, 100%.
Do you think that is
Yes,
correct? Do you think
there's
there's
no
anything
doubt.
else Logan could do? Maybe.
I would say, if I were to say jumps.
Yeah, really.
Logan's an explosive guy.
So
Yeah,
he
I'd say-
said he wasn't explosive, so I'm glad you said that, because Logan's too hard on himself sometimes.
Yes, I would say if it was vertical, if it was broad jump, anything that he could show his explosiveness, obviously the strength part's there. So I would say those would be the three things that would jump out. The last part is, if you wanted to really see where Logan would excel, back in the day, Wonderlic test. I bet Logan's is way above the average player.
I believe
And so I'd say if you look back to see him, I would say it was the physical, dominance that he had, and then what was between his ears that made him, the ball player he played for so long.
Well, Coach, I don't know if Logan has ever gotten a compliment that great on command center. Logan, I'm sure you're smiling. Man, thank you so much for walking with us. We're going to get back to it because you have a lot to do. We're very excited to see what you do this offseason. Tanner, take it away.
It's time for Just Chill, brought to you by Steam Fitters.
Steam Fitters. UA Local 602 provides the highest HVAC and mechanical piping services.
Hey, good job, BC and Coach Quinn. On this edition of Just Chill, it's a special edition. I got my main man, Logan Paulsen, here with us, with me and my guy, Fred Smoot. And we're going to be talking about the gauntlet drill, a drill I hate at the combine. I can't stand this drill, but I got Logan here for that reason, because he's going to tell us the importance of this drill.
So Fred, pop over there.
Yep.
So if you look at Keon's drill, he stays right down this line, right? Doesn't move, right? Ball comes, he catches it with his hands. His feet don't slow down, they don't accelerate. There's no chop to his feet. Tanner, come on back, right? There's none of this, right? Fred, throw me the ball. There's none of, boom, I'm not slowing down, right? I'm being really aggressive to the ball. I'm not, look at that. What about that? All right. So now, if you look at Franklin's drill, when the ball comes, he's bowing away from the ball, right? He's bowing away, right? He's stopping his feet. And so, Fred, I'm glad you're here, right? Because when I see that, I'm like, what's the DB gonna do? So when this first ball comes in, he's bowing away from you. What are you thinking about?
I'm literally trying to close ground right now because he's giving me a chance to make a play. If he stays tight on his line, he gets to block me off with his body.
I
right there. So if he opens up, he gives me a chance to get up in there.
And the other one you want to see, and Troy Flanken didn't do a great job of this, is he jumped for the ball, right?
Yeah, he jumped.
The ball would come here, come on back, I'll toss you the ball. I toss you the ball, he would jump up.
He stopped.
And so talk about that. He's stopping, right?
You don't want your momentum to ever stop. We are chasers. When you stop us from chasing, now we trap you. Imagine if he needed 3 more yards to get a first down and he jumps, and all I got to do is put my body here, it stops him from continuing.
And so people talk about Puka Nacua being grounded through the catch. And you know who else is good at being grounded through the catch? Santana Moss. Because when he's running, you're running with him, and I throw it to him, he can run away,
and
there's no way he can catch him, right? Tana, man, look at those hands, boy. Look at those hands, boy. That's what I'm talking about.
Jason trying to make it hard for me, man.
So to me, this drill shows you a couple things. One, it shows you how the receiver tracks the ball, right? If I'm running away from the ball, if I'm running off my line, right, Tana? I don't see the ball very well.
And it's a longer throw.
It's a
you
longer
made the throw longer.
If he stops his feet, he's not tracking the ball very well. But the guy like Keon Coleman, who's ripping through this thing, going 20 miles an hour, catch. Nice hands catch, confident running through. I'm grounded, I see the ball well, I've got excellent hands. The DB cannot make a play on that football, right? So that's what we're looking for in that drill, Tana, and that's why as an evaluator, I think it's an awesome drill. Did I change your mind?
It did, but I still hate it.
Hated it.
Can always count on Fred Smoot for giving us some laughs. And shout out to Logan and the guys for breaking it all down. Now, while they make their way back to the studio, we had a chance to catch up with another man who knows a thing or two about championship culture. That's right, member of the Commanders Advisory Board, 2-time NBA Executive of the Year, Bob Myers. This offseason, Mr. Myers flipped his NBA knowledge to the NFL as a member of an advisory committee that hired both general manager Adam Peters and our new head coach, Dan Quinn. I had the pleasure of sitting down with Myers and got to ask him what was his role at this year's NFL Combine.
Meeting with Dan, meeting with Adam about free agency, meeting with Josh, spending time with him while he was there, and just honestly being aware that there was a lot I didn't know, asking questions. In areas that I might see commonality, I would offer, well, this is the NBA's version of how we approached free agency. And sometimes when you just ask questions, it helps the leaders of the Commanders find answers themselves. And there's obviously all kind of anecdotal stories I can say, well, when I was in free agency or when we were in the draft, these are the mistakes I made. sometimes we talked about a little bit about these interviews, these 15-minute interviews or these short snapshots. Sometimes you overreact to a good or bad interview, realizing that's a mistake. That's not smart. It's making a determination on a big decision in 15 minutes is never smart. So just sharing ideas like that, sharing experiences, because the NFL and NBA Combine have a lot of common threads to them. They have a lot of similarities. And so saying, actually, when I approached it from an NBA general manager standpoint, these are some of the things that I thought were beneficial. And some of this stuff I just left. And even those small things can help streamline what Adam's trying to do or Dan's trying to do.
So awesome hearing from a guy like Mr. Myers on all things Combine. And you know, I think I have something else that might get Commanders fans excited. The Washington Commanders Marching Band will be holding auditions for the next season on April 6th and April 7th. If you are interested in being a part of history and joining one of the oldest marching bands in the NFL, visit commanders.com/band. That's commanders.com/band to register now. All right, Commanders fans, before we go, you know we have to have a little more fun. Now, you know those Combine questions that always go viral, that the prospects get asked from these teams that really don't make no sense. We figured we'd ask our guys these questions and see how they fared and how they answered under pressure. And our first guy is the coolest guy we got. He's ready for the pressure. That is Santana Moss. Santana, are you ready, my brother?
I'm absolutely ready.
First question for you, Santana Moss. And remember, all of these questions have been asked in real Combine settings. What is something that you do not believe in, Santana Moss?
Well, I would first say I do believe in space. And what I don't believe in, and I'm putting in those terms, I don't believe in, and I hope Logan Dad don't get mad at me, but I don't believe we touched the moon.
And why not?
I mean, just the clip of the video, I felt like the gravity would have been a problem, and it seemed like those guys was out there playing football. Just didn't understand it.
Great job, Santana Moss. Now you are allowed to take your seat while Logan Paulsen enters the podium.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, Santana, great job.
Logan, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. Your first question, sir.
Yes.
Are pigeons real, and why?
I mean, pigeons are real, right? Even if they're robots, they are real, right?
How do you know they're not robots?
Well, that wasn't the question.
Oh,
So,
but is a robot real?
the robot is real,
Yeah.
right?
Yes,
Robots,
it is.
Of course, real.
Human
So
material.
Pigeons are real.
Yep.
It's about whether they're actual biological animals, I think is maybe the crux of your question. That I don't know. It's indeterminate at this moment. I've never seen a baby pigeon, so that's my answer.
Okay, never have seen a baby
Yep.
pigeon either. I guess we're undetermined. Fred Smoot, you are next. Great job, Logan
Thank
Paulsen.
you. Yep.
Great question. Good answer.
All right, Fred. This one's easy.
Yeah, I'm here.
You ready?
Yeah.
Could you land a plane in case of an emergency?
Oh God, of course.
Yes. I took a class in the early 80s because my uncle, he flew planes. And the thing about it was, he taught me the thing about a plane is, it's not that the plane is flying. When you're in the plane, you're dropping the whole time. You go up to drop. So I need to know I need to drop at least a 90-degree right there.
I would never draft this guy.
Then pull up right there.
Never
so
draft
yes, I can and I will land a plane.
about lift.
Can and I will. Let's hope that Fred Smoot never has to land a plane that any of your loved ones are on. Next up, we have Santana Moss back at the podium. Great job, Fred Smoot.
Good job, Fred. Thank you.
All right. Tan, this your last question?
I don't believe you in the plane to drop.
Your question, Santana Moss. Would you share your internet history with us right now?
Hell no.
And why not?
Hey.
That is all.
One thing about it, you're gonna drive me because I'm being honest.
Next up is Logan Paulsen for his final
Okay, here we
question.
go.
Logan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You're on a mountain in Alaska, on a
Okay.
bus going 100 miles per hour.
Okay.
Where are you sitting on the bus?
I'm on a mountain in Alaska. The bus is going 100 miles an hour, probably in the middle to the back of the bus. Why? Because that's where I sit on every bus.
Is it not to protect yourself?
Yeah, there's no way to protect you. There's no place you could sit that would be like safer.
We're not on a road? Can you be more specific?
You're
with your
on a
question?
mountain. I'm assuming if you're on a bus, you're on a road.
So
You're not on a
Let
valley.
me ask you a question. Are there roads on mountains? Yes.
Okay.
So are we going 100 miles an hour? I'm probably just sitting.
He gonna be a
sitting
free
on-
agent.
Yeah.
Sit in the middle? Okay.
Yeah, we're going to get him a
Sit
free
in the
agent.
middle. Good job. Logan, great
Do you
job.
want to go down that?
Undrafted.
Like, is it got skis? Like, what are you asking here, Brian?
Listen, these are questions that are giving us from the
Undrafted.
It's not a
Nonsense.
legitimate question.
I don't want to go to your team.
Undrafted. Yeah,
And
undrafted.
last
Guy
but
have
not
anger
least
issues.
is Fred Swoop.
Yes.
Are you ready, sir?
I am.
All right.
Man.
Now remember, all these questions have been asked to players at combines. I'm not making these up.
I was asked one.
You chose not to participate in any of the combine workouts with your peers.
I did.
Does that mean you're afraid to compete with them?
Yes.
No, it doesn't mean I'm afraid. I'm just better than y'all. Well, y'all have to do this in front of everybody. I'm going to make you come to my backyard, and I'm going to do it where I'm comfortable at. No, am I scared? No, I've played in front of 100,000 people. Death Valley, LSU, all right? Alabama, Tennessee. And I'm scared of you? No. I'll see you on draft day. I'm out.
And
Yes,
you know
great
what,
answer.
fellas? You guys did such a good job. I want all of us to come up here, and I'm going to ask you guys a simple yes or no question to end the show, if that's okay with
That's
y'all.
good with me.
All right?
Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Who's going to be the speaker for y'all?
We all speak together.
All together?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hold the mic.
Mississippi Man's
Ready?
Choir.
Last question for all three of y'all.
Yeah.
Do y'all love y'all Commanders fans?
Yeah, we do. Because they love us. Even when we messed up, they love us. You know what I'm saying? We fell short. They loved us. You know what I'm saying? We lost
We
games.
should give Fred the mic.
They loved us. You know what I mean?
There's nothing
We
but
love
love
them
for
too.
our Commanders fans. That's why we do things like that. And we want to hear from you all. Put in the comments who you would draft first out of these three prospects. I am Brian Colbert Jr. And this is Command Center. Until next time, we will see you when we're recapping all things free agency.
I was driving that bus in Alaska.
Tonight, Dad came with. He didn't want his little sweet potato to be here without him. But now, he really wishes she was here without him. Next time, he'll just let her roll with her new entourage. And he'll only trust SeatGeek with the tickets. Because when she finds her happy place, he can find his way back to the car. The ticketing app trusted by fans. SeatGeek, so fans can fan.